Hola everybody! So in this video I'm going to be talking about 12 different ways to help cope with your depression. And quick disclaimer, it is raining outside, so if you hear some background noise, that's all it is. A quick backstory for you guys who are new to this channel, and if you are new, do subscribe. But some of you guys know that when I was 17, I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety. Now I'm 20 years old and it's been 3 years since I've been diagnosed with depression, and I believe that I have fully recovered from depression, or more, that I have gained enough knowledge and confidence with myself that if I feel like I might be going down a depressive spiral, I can pull myself out of it before I even get to hit rock bottom. So I want to share my tips with you guys because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to make this video, and I've made a lot of similar videos to this video in the past, so I will be adding cards up here, so when you're done with this video you can watch other videos if you need some support. With that all said, let's just get into this video. By the way guys, when I was looking for help with my depression, the first thing that my parents kind of put me through was seeing a psychiatrist, and the reason why is because I asked them, they were like, what can we do to help? And I said I should see a psychiatrist. But I didn't get enough information to know that prescription drug medication is probably the last thing you need to get. You need to work on all these 11 things before you get into prescription drug medication. And it was a mistake for me to go straight into antidepressants, because when I got off antidepressants, I started to work on all these other points, and I realized that I didn't even need to take antidepressants if I worked on myself and my self-care. So number one, the first thing that you should check is go to a doctor and find out what you're deficient in. So I realized that I was deficient in iron and B vitamins, and B vitamins are directly linked to depression and mental health issues. So I realized that I wasn't getting enough iron and I wasn't getting enough B vitamins. So once I started taking B vitamins and iron, which I did last year, so this was like 2 years after being on prescription medication, I realized how much of a difference this makes. And this is so true, and I really want to help you guys. I'm telling you this because I want to help you guys. You will find out that once you start taking the vitamins that you are deficient in, you will become 100% you. Because I lived my life being 20% energetic, 20% me, because I didn't have enough energy, which I get now from taking iron supplements. So now that I take iron, it's not that I'm suddenly this energetic person, it's just that I am the person who I want to be. But when I wasn't taking this energy pills, I was just lazy and tired and demotivated, and when you're tired you don't want to see your friends, and then you get depressed because you're stuck in your cave and you're stuck in your house all day. So do check out with a doctor what type of vitamins you need, and also with your hormone balances, especially if you're going through puberty. That's when I was diagnosed with depression, and I could have just been going through hormonal imbalances, and you don't need to jump straight away into a psychiatrist. Just work on getting those vitamins that you need, and you can get them from fruits, vegetables, whatever types of foods. The iron and B vitamins I take are through supplements, and I'll just take them about once a day. This one time I hid my iron supplements behind the fridge by accident, and this entire week I didn't take any of it, and it was the week where I was just tired, demotivated, deflated. And when I started taking it again, I was like, this is my antidepressant. This is my antidepressant. This. So definitely do consider that. Number two, reach out. Reach out to anyone, to a friend, a parent. Comment down below and reach out to us. Be like, hey, I need some advice, or hey, I need some help, or hey, I need someone to talk to. Always have your close friend's number or your sister's number, so whenever you're feeling like you're going down a downward spiral, you can pick up your phone and call them and talk to them. You won't even understand how relieving it is just to get it out of you. A good tip, which I think hasn't really been mentioned a lot, is ask a family member or loved one to check in on you every week or every 2 weeks. You can ask your cousin, hey, every Friday, is it okay if you ring me after school? You can tell your cousin or whoever you decide to pick and say to them, look, I'm going through a really tough time and I need someone to be there for me, and I just want someone to check up on me because I'm too shy or I'm too scared to say, hey, I need help, or hey, I need to talk, and instead have someone kind of have this routine with you where every, Friday they call you, and it just helps remind you that you're loved, and it helps you realize that you have someone to talk to. And honestly, it's just the step of asking someone that's going to be the hardest, and only the devil will say no to that request. Meet people at a social club, like a hobby club, football, join a class, join clubs. The more you surround yourself with people, the bigger of a support system you have, the more distracted you are, the more busy you are, the more entertained you are, the less time you're spent in your bed wallowing in despair. So definitely consider that, which leads to number 3. Number 3, indulge in your hobbies. So I know a lot of people who don't have hobbies, which is really weird considering that, my hobbies are skating, playing guitar, like if I look around my room, making clothes, drawing, Pilates, stretching, dancing. I have a ton of hobbies. If I look around my room, I'm never gonna be bored because I know there's gonna be something that I can distract myself with, which is kind of funny because a lot of people will see, oh, you're distracting yourself from depression. That's just running away from your problems. When in reality, it really isn't. Distracting yourself from your own crazy hell in your brain is what's going to help you realize that life is so beautiful, that you have this thirst for life. You should have this thirst for life. You should want to go out and do these things and these hobbies. You want to share these hobbies with other people, and you don't have to share these hobbies with other people. You can do your hobbies on yourself. You can draw in your book and show not a person in the world, but as long as you're doing something productive, artistic, creative, then you can be proud of yourself. You can look at the book when you're done drawing and be like, wow, I did all this. Or when you're done running a mile or something, you're like, whoa, I just ran a mile and I never thought I would. And it helps you just build a bit of confidence, and it helps you find your tribe as well too. Finding your tribe is so important to helping you get out of this funk. And when you're joining a class and doing dance with a group or playing guitar with a friend who sings, then you are finding people from your tribe. You are finding supporters. You're finding people who can help you find the beauty in life. And it will also help you have this thirst to learn. You will have this thirst to learn. And a tip for picking up your hobbies, I know this is gonna sound fucking crazy, but when I first started playing my guitar, I didn't want to play my guitar sometimes because I wasn't good at it. And I simply didn't like doing things I wasn't good at. So what I did is that I manipulated my body into believing that I loved doing it. So every time I played guitar, I would smile, like with a crazy fucking smile, I would smile. For example, when you're doing Pilates or exercising, when you're running, smile, because you are telling your brain, your body, that you like it, that you're enjoying it, that you're happy. So when, for example, you're going through a dark, depressive state, your brain is telling you, like, what can I do to make me happy? Like, what can I do to make me happy? And your brain remembers, when was the last time I smiled? Oh, yeah, that was when I was doing Pilates. So now that I'm sad, what's going to get me out of this sad funk? You know what? I'm going to do some Pilates. And while you do these activities, when you first start, just make sure that you're like smiling. And I know this is such a weird tip, but it works for me. And I got this tip just from science class. I learned that, smiling tricks your brain into thinking that you're happy, and you release all these happy chemicals, happy endorphins. I kind of manipulated myself into loving and indulging in these hobbies because I smiled when I first started them. So when I was depressed later, I'm like, oh, well, what makes me smile? Oh yeah, well, I know what makes me smile. And you don't even need to think about it. Subconsciously, your brain knows what's going to make you smile. So your brain's going to push you towards that. Also, a tip that someone told me on my YouTube channel, one of my sunflowers said, try playing your musical instrument in the dark, and it's very soothing and calm, and it makes me feel super soothed and calm, and I feel like it relieves my anxiety a lot by just playing a musical instrument in the dark, which is kind of fucking weird. So number 4 is to aim to have about 8 hours of sleep per night. And I know that sounds scary because a lot of people who are depressed, they will spend their entire day on their bed, and then sleeping at night is really hard. I also know a lot of people who can't sleep at night because they're just, thinking about all these crazy things. What happens if my house catches on fire? What happens if my mom dies? Like all these crazy thoughts. And understandably, they're terrible, and it makes it hard to sleep. It makes you not want to sleep, or sometimes you want to sleep all day. Depression hits people very differently. I was in between. I felt like sometimes I wanted to sleep all day, and then I felt like sometimes I wouldn't sleep for like 3 days at a time. And the reason why it's so important to sleep is that, first of all, you need the energy to be motivated in life. Like, if you're tired the entire day, why do you want to go do your hobbies? Why do you want to take care of yourself? Why would you want to maintain your self-care when you're just tired? So make sure you do have enough sleep. Make sure you don't have too much sleep. And some tips that can help you with sleep: meditation itself has cured my depression. I swear to God. Meditation has cured me from my anxiety, from my body dysmorphia, from every problem I've ever had, from my anger, whatever it is. Meditation has literally cured me. If someone asked me, what's one thing that cured your depression, I would say meditation. But meditation helps because it clears your mind. It makes it easier for you to sleep because you're not on your phone, like, lying in bed or whatever. Try not to be on your phone at night. Try not to have any electronics on your bed as well too. Like, make it a rule, as if you're on your phone or laptop, it has to be, on the couch or something, not in your bed. Your bed is meant for sleeping, and then it'll help you sleep better. Drinking types of tea can help you sleep, and stretching as well too. To me, stretching really helps me sleep because it loosens up my muscles. And it's so annoying when people are like, oh yeah, well, stretching isn't gonna cure my depression. I'm like, no shit, it's not going to cure your depression, but it's going to help you feel relaxed when you sleep. It's going to help you feel less anxious so you can sleep better, and then you wake up and you're nice and fresh in the morning and you're ready for your day. But stretching also does help with my anxiety. I feel like when I feel like I'm going to have an anxiety attack, I stretch. And I think it's just loosening up my body. I think it's just something I'm comfortable with. And you know what? How I got into stretching? I smiled when I first started stretching. Every time I stretched, I'm always smiling because it tricks your brain to being like, this is a healthy coping mechanism because this makes you happy. Which leads to number 5, exercise. I know this sounds terrible. Who wants to do exercise, right? But first of all, taking a walk outside every day. I walk about 7 minutes around my street. Literally, that's it, for no reason. I leave my phone at home, I take off my shoes, and I spend that time, just 5 minutes, 7 minutes, walking around my street, and it just gets rid of all this energy that I have left, makes it easier for me to sleep at night as well too. I do Pilates, and I used to do cross-country running, and I like to skate or whatever, but you don't need to do all these crazy activities. You don't need to deadlift or whatever. You can start off with stretching, and that's as easy as... I'm not farting, this is just my chair. It's easy, it's not that hard. Stretching doesn't take that much effort, but it is a form of exercise that just makes you release all these happy chemicals in your brain. So exercise releases all these happy endorphins, chemicals. I don't even know the term, but it does. You learn this in gym class or whatever. Start off with walking and stretching, something easy like that, and then you can try things like running. Number 6, getting a lot of sunlight. And I know this sounds so typical, drink lots of water and get some sunlight and lie in the grass, but getting out in the sun, you get vitamin D from the sun. It makes you just feel warm. It makes you feel at home. And it is scientifically proven that if you walk outside, face your face to the sun, and close your eyes and smile, and do that for 7 seconds, your day will dramatically improve. And whenever I feel like I need to take a break, I'm stressed, I'm angry, I'm pissed, I'll go outside, I'll face the sun, I'll smile for 7 seconds, and what it does is that it kind of tells your brain that, first of all, you're getting vitamins from the sun. The sun is our mother, and it makes you feel like you're actually part of this earth, and as well as smiling, it is a way to trick yourself into saying, I'm happy, everything's okay, everything's gonna work out. But also increase the natural light in your room. Always have your curtains open, try to have your windows open, your doors open, and just get all that fresh air into your house and get natural lighting as well too. So number 7, groom yourself. Have a self-care type of routine. It's very common when you go through depression that you start to put aside, showering, shaving, brushing your hair, all these things, because you don't care. You don't care about this. You just want to die, I guess. And it's very important to actually pick those up. Have a self-care routine, and something as little as taking a shower, shaving your legs, your armpits, plucking your eyebrows, moisturizing yourself with coconut oil, moisturizing your hair, brushing your hair. Any of that stuff is going to help you. No, putting makeup on isn't going to cure your depression. No, taking a bath isn't going to cure your depression, but you know what? When you take a bath, you feel nice and calm and warm, and when you get out and your legs are all shaved, you feel like you want to go out because you want someone to see that your legs are shaved. Or when you pluck your eyebrows, you're like, oh, I kind of want to like fill them in and take some photos. It makes you feel better about yourself. It makes it easier to go outside when you're like, oh, I feel good about myself. My hair is nice. I'm moisturized. I've got my nails painted. Everything's all good. And it just helps you gain that confidence. Self-care is so important with depression or any type of mental health issue. All of these kind of points isn't just for depression. It's just mental health in general. Number 8, surround yourself with positive people. And I think this is kind of self-explanatory, but if you're around, energy vampires, these people who are just negative and they just take all your energy, they're just not going to help benefit you. They're not going to help improve yourself, develop yourself, and these people aren't going to help you grow when every time you go outside and they're like, oh, I hate this fucking weather, I hate this, I hate that, I hate that. I know so many people who uses the word hate more than they use love, and I get it. It's trendy to rant, it's trendy to be savage, it's trendy to be sassy, but you don't need to be around people who are always angry about things. When you're around people who are super positive, who every time you're like, man, this weather sucks, and your friend's like, actually, I don't mind it, it's alright. At least there's no hurricane outside, at least it's not hailing or whatever, at least it's not this, then you kind of get a slap in the face like, watch your perspective. You can change your entire life by changing your perspective. Surround yourself with really positive people because they will help catch you when you're in a negative mindset. They will help inspire you to kind of change your mindset, your perspective about things. Number 9, care for other earthlings, animals, people. So when you care for like an animal and you get like a dog, you care for your dog, you brush its hair. I have guinea pigs, and I think, if I killed myself, like, my guinea pigs, they wouldn't get fed, they wouldn't get their nails trimmed, they wouldn't get their favorite fruits and treats, and it kills me knowing that they would be upset. It kills me that no one would be able to take care of them. If you have a pet, focus your time on taking care of them as well too. It helps you feel less selfish. You will start to see that your life is all dependent on your perspective. If you go volunteer at a homeless shelter, you realize all these people, they don't have homes, they don't have families, they don't have money, they don't have food, they don't have a shower. And it's not saying that like, oh, you should be happy about your life. You have things that they don't. Obviously, if you have a depression doesn't care who the fuck you are. It doesn't care if you're poor and starving or if you're rich and in a mansion. So it's not like that. It's more that feel good about yourself by helping people, see things from a different perspective, be around other people as well too, realize that this is the world you live in. You don't live in this little cave that you're stuck in every day. Get yourself out of there, volunteer. That's really gonna help. Own a plant, take care of plants. I like to pet leaves. I don't know why, I'm just a weird hippie. And I know it's something so small and simple, like telling your conscious mind, don't step on that ant when you see it instead of let's just step on it. You're putting care and love into this world, out into the universe, and you know what? You will receive care and love when you put it out. You guys want a video about law of attraction? Let me know, and I'll definitely do that. Number 10. Document and write. I know a lot of people who are into writing because speaking is really hard to do and it's hard to gather their emotions up. Have a journal, write what you're feeling. When I was going through therapy and psychiatry, I was writing every week what was going on every day, and it just helps you like have an outlook. So from like a far view perspective, instead of seeing your life every day and dictating it every day, when you kind of document it, you can kind of see it from months or weeks, and you can see your progress, and you reward yourself for your progress as well too. But you can document it on YouTube as well too. I have been documenting my depression story, my mental health story on YouTube ever since I was kicked out of school, and I posted the video about my suicide attempts, and it really helped me. If meditation was the number 1 cure for my depression, then making a YouTube channel was number 2, because I was talking to people who were on the same boat as me. I was talking to people who understood me. So many people in my life were going through the same thing, but they just hid it all under the covers, behind the curtains, and it made it hard to reach out. But yeah, document and reach out. You don't have to share it with the world, but sharing with the world can actually really help you. So I would advise saying, make a YouTube channel, make a blog, make an Instagram, talk to people, let people know what's going on. Number 11 is pretty straightforward, and I left it for last even though it should be first, but it's about your healthy diet. And the reason why I left it for last is because nobody wants to be told that they shouldn't be eating something that they're addicted to Nobody wants to be told that. Cut out junk food. Number one, cut out junk food. There are so many chemicals, bad fucking shit in junk food meats and in junk food in general. Every time I ate junk food, I felt the grease on my face. I felt heavy. I felt disgusting. All of the meat and chicken nuggets are just cartilage and intestine skin, all the shit that they didn't want from the chicken. They just blend it up and put it as a chicken nugget. It's all these horrible things that, we're obviously blinded by society. But I can talk about, not eating meat for the rest of my life, and people might not even want to change. Alcohol, drugs, try to avoid alcohol in general. Drugs as well too. Alcohol is a depressant. I've seen a lot of people use alcohol to cure their depression. Doesn't fucking work, let me tell you that. You need to aim to have a clear mind, and alcohol isn't going to give you that clear mind. Cut out coffee. Coffee is kind of linked to anxiety. I feel like I'm getting an anxiety attack sometimes when I drink coffee. That's how bad it is, and some people don't even realize that's why they feel anxiety, is because they're just chugging cups of coffee more than they're drinking cups of water. And I also cut out fizzy drinks, and that really helps out just because there's a lot of caffeine. So work on your diet, eat things with more live enzymes, so like fruits and veg. I've been trying to do this thing for the past 6 months, so before midday I just eat fruits and veggies that aren't cooked. I do that because, if I wake up in the morning and the first thing I eat is hash browns and all these greasy, and Pop-Tarts and all these greasy, horrible stuff, I feel heavy, I feel tired, I feel lazy, I feel gross, I feel groggy, and I don't want to do anything the entire day. So when you're eating foods with live enzymes like an apple, a watermelon, strawberries, all these amazing fruits in the morning, you're just going to feel that energy pumping throughout the entire day, and you will actually notice the difference. Trust me, you will notice the difference. And cutting out soft drinks to me was easy. I wasn't really a big soda drinker, but think about this. Parents will feed their kids Coke, and then they will feed their plants water. Are you telling me, as a parent, you love your plants more than you love your kids because you're gonna let your kids drink Coke and rat poison like Pepsi and Fanta and all this shit when you're feeding your plants water? Does that mean you love your plants more than you love your kids? I don't see why parents can give their kids all these soft drinks. It's just that parents don't want to discipline their kids anymore. But that's a whole other video. And the last thing, number 12, is get professional help and try to get prescription medication. And 1 second, I'm almost out of battery. I could talk about prescription medication for 5 videos in a row. I could talk about it for 5 hours straight because I have so many opinions about it, and I want to make a quick disclaimer that if you're on prescription medication and it works for you, good for you. That's fine. I'm not against people who take it, but because during my path, the first thing I was put on was prescription medication instead of working on all these 11 other things that I could have worked on. But I was first put on prescription medication, and I got some bad side effects. I started gaining weight real quick, and because I was gaining weight, it started to attack my anxiety, my body dysmorphia. It made me more depressed, made me not want to go outside, made me stuck in this cave, made me not want to see anybody because I wasn't happy with the results I was getting from the prescription medication. And I was on so much medication that my psychiatrist didn't even know which one to cut out. Then I had problems with sleeping. I wouldn't be able to sleep. Give me something to help me sleep, but then I would wake up tired, and I'd be tired the entire day. I just found it very difficult to find the right balance for me, and you know what? If you find the right balance for you, good job. But you also have to remember that the prescription drug industry, the whole pharmaceutical industry, is fucked. They own a third of the world's money, and it's just, honestly, I've experienced it firsthand. Psychiatrists just throwing pills at you thinking this is what's going to help you instead of getting deep down into what is the problem, why it's the problem, confronting the problem, and then working on all of these tips to cope with it. Really have this as last resort, because I know a lot of people who have been on prescription medication for almost their entire adult life, and they can't even fathom what they would be like if they went off the medication. And they don't like being on the medication, not because it's not working for them, because it is. They don't like being on the medication because they don't like that they are dependent on it, that they have to have it in the morning or at night, or they don't feel normal? Or is feeling normal being on your medication, or is feeling normal not being on your medication? So there definitely is a debate, and I will make an entire video about this in the future thanks to one of my sunflowers who gave me this suggestion. So I will do that in the future, and if you want me to do that, give this video a thumbs up, and I will definitely make a video about my thoughts on the pharmaceutical industry and anti-anxiety, antidepressants, all these type of medications, and I certainly will. I just want to quickly put out there as well too, I know I'm talking for so long and my camera's on like 2%. Also, just remember that a lot of psychiatrists will prescribe benzos like Xanax and Valium, and Xanax and Valium, it's harder to get off them when you're addicted to them. It's harder to get off the addiction of benzos than it is to get off heroin addiction. That's how bad it is. I've had first-hand experience with people in my life. All the people who have fucked me over in my life have been benzo addicts, and it hasn't even been because they abuse taking a lot of Xanax and Valium. It's because they are addicted to what they're given by their psychiatrist. So their psychiatrist is, upping up their dosage because they're getting a higher tolerance for it. When they need to taper down, it becomes hard, and then these people end up binging even more and ending up getting an even worse addiction. It's very hard to get off. You can be physically addicted to these drugs that your doctors are giving you. Isn't that fucked? That's fucked. That's crazy. So I want to just say, please don't ever take benzos. Get a psychiatrist and they tell you, I want to prescribe you Xanax or Valium. Please say no. Please say no. That stuff is very, very addictive, and I've seen grown men cry on my bedroom floor because they cannot wean off even half a pill. But anyways, now that it's come to the end of this video, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, leave me some down below, and if you guys are going through the comments and you see someone reaching out for help, please comment back to them like, I'm sending positive vibes your way, or virtual hug. Give virtual hugs down below, just star virtual hugs. It's really going to make someone's day by just giving them a little love heart. You don't even need to type anything, just reply with an emoji. You have no idea how much that's going to mean to someone, because it means a lot to me. Other than that, I hope everyone stays lucid. I added all the playlists up here for all other videos regarding mental health. Stay safe. And also, I'm going to be putting all these tips in the description below, so you can copy and paste it, stick it on your fridge, add it to a playlist, so that later on when you're feeling depressed, you can come back to this and be like, okay, that's one way that I can work on. Okay, I've worked on this, so I'm going to try this now. So, or even just write it down and stick it on your fridge. That's cool too. But you can support me just by adding this to a playlist. Anyways, I love you all so much. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye!